Hello, guys. How are we doing today? It's good to see us. It's good to have you guys connected into this Crypto Capital show. I was going through the PDF and the slides we usually use for our Crypto Capital show, the series and stuff, and it literally dawned on me crazy on how the fact that we've had so many Crypto Capital show sessions. We've taught so many things, we've revealed and done so many kind of lectures on so many areas, which is actually a fantastic thing. And I'm really excited for the fact that we've taught so much, we've given out so much, we've had so much knowledge and trainings in these sessions, in this series. Today we're beginning the second part, the second episode on discussing the future series. That is what we will be talking about today. Give me a second, guys. A little bit of second. How do I do this again? Okay. Edit name. Okay, fantastic. I think it's okay now. All right. So last week we started the series. I talked about the importance of the series, why it's needed, what we are going to be looking forward, why I decided that this is the section, this is the topic we are going to be covering. I made a lot of emphasis on that. Like, we'll deep dive into laying the foundation, helping each and every one of us understand what it's about and how we can take advantage of the series, of the information and everything that is being talked about. We did this last week, and on Tuesday on our X space, our weekly discussion space on Twitter X, I gave a very detailed storyline, using a storyline that could literally help you understand the journey between banking and finance and money, and so you can have a true concept of where the problem is coming from. So we went deep dive into the history of banking and finance, the history of money. We did that during the X space. It was a bit lengthy for about an hour, and I got a lot of good response and comments on the insight that were given on that session as well. So if you are not catching up and following up with whatever we are doing as regards from one session to another, you may get lost along the way, and you may not be able to get the holistic benefits of every information that I am dispensing in this season, I am teaching in this season, because it's definitely going to give you an edge to be among, there was something that was I revealed to a lot of people, and that was last week Sunday, and that was when I was making a teaching on what was I even talking about? That was that Sunday again. Okay, the teaching was on understanding, right? Understanding the nature of understanding the nature when it comes to cryptocurrency. How many persons are actually millionaires in this space? How many people are actually succeeding? And the truth is, even when you bring the data to various other industries, the numbers are a bit up, right? Some industries, the millionaires in that industry are like up to 2%, some up to 3%, some up to 5%. But it's the what we call the unequal divide of the world. The unequal divide of the world. The unequal divide of the world is it's kind of an analogy that shows and portrays that 90% of the money and the wealth in any sector is being ruled and is being controlled by only 10% of the individuals in those sectors. And when we looked at and that's why I decided also for us to like do some personal participation in last week's Sunday, and that was we should go on ChatGPT and ask the questions I asked, go on Google and do a little bit of deep dive. And we saw that it was just less than 1% when it comes to crypto. So we've got like 0.3% or so, or 0.03%, which is a crazy percentage. So this means if it's 0.03%, that means the people who are actually succeeding in crypto is just 0.1%, or let's just say 0.3% or 0.5%. So if we're saying 0.3% or 0.5%, so one account for people who are maybe they have not been able to make up to $1 million, but maybe they made $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. So they are like in the 6-figure range. We have a good number of people who are in that category. So if you add them put together at a compounded way, we're inflating the numbers a bit now. So let's just inflate the number to like 0.3 to 0.5%. It still means that the number of people who are succeeding in crypto are not up to 1%. The number of people who are literally excelling, as in financially very well in crypto, in this industry, in Web3, is not up to 1%. And that is the sad truth. And that is the reality that most people don't know. I mean, you can't go online and see a lot of things. People post a lot of things, right? But one thing about the internet we've always known over the years is that the internet is the more you look, the less you see. 90% or 99% of what you see out there on the internet is not real. It's fake and not true. And the 99.9% of people in crypto will fall for a lot of this, but you need a deeper understanding of what differentiates you, what could differentiate you from just being what we call among the 99.9% who are struggling to be among the 0.1%, right? So this means just 0.1% persons are actually enjoying the wealth of crypto. That means that is why you see that a lot of people who have what we call the crypto money, they are crazily rich. They are insanely rich. The reality of crypto billionaires and millionaires is way beyond a normal layman's reality. In fact, a lot of us who are making so much money from crypto, we do not really even whatever we release out to the physical at times is not like the full capacity of our assets, right? Because some of us are holding a large quantity long term for the next 5, 10, 15 years to come, right? So what is being released is just fragments, right? It's just like, let's use CZ, for example. CZ of Binance, as rich and wealthy as CZ is, whatever the world knows and say that, okay, this is the net worth of CZ, it's just what he's sharing, right? He's never going to like liquidate everything and just bring it out there. The same goes for a lot of people who are already multi-millionaires in crypto. 99% of them will not liquidate everything, because also the government is there to hit them bad and take out your taxes. So like, you just want to have that in consideration, right? So let's go into what we have for today. What is next and where we are taking the journey from, right? Let's go on that aspect today. Now, you want to understand what the governments are doing, what the institutions are doing, what the world powers are doing, and why they are doing it. Because the only way for you to really have and achieve sovereignty in this world today, in this world we live in, the only way you can literally achieve sovereignty, or let's say financial sovereignty, you have to think like them so you can win your freedom and your victory. If you've ever read the 72 Laws of Power, the 12th law of the 72 Laws of Power states that you need to use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. So break what that means, it refers to sometimes you need to beat manipulation, right? For you to be able to beat manipulation, you must know how to manipulate better. Wearing the same mask, but you are sharper. A better way to explain this, or another way to explain this, is another book, which is the book used by the 22nd law says the same thing, is use the surrender tactic to transform your weakness into power. In other words, pretend like you are surrendering to your opponent, making them feel like you're weak, and transform your weakness to exploit them into power. That's the law 12 and law 22 in the 72 laws of power. It gives the same meaning, but in a way that maybe another way that I could use as another illustration for you guys, it's there's a book by Sun Tzu. I don't know if I pronounce it well. It's called The Art of War. Sun Tzu, which is called The Art of War, right? It's called all warfare is based on deception. All warfare is, someone says, actually, I found your stream because someone posted you in a Kick Discord. Oh, okay. If you want, here's the invite link so you can see this. Okay. Back to what we're saying. So Sun Tzu, The Art of War, he says that all warfare is based on deception, right? So you want to understand what these guys are doing, what the governments are doing, what the institutions are doing. You want to understand what are they doing, why are they doing what they are doing, understand their game, and you want to use that same wisdom that they have to control the world, to achieve your own freedom. Because you will not be able to achieve, let's say, financial sovereignty, or win against the government and the banks and the institutions without understanding what they are doing, because you're obviously going to be at their mercy, right? If you were on the Twitter X space last week, we went into deep details, understanding the problem with money, the problem with the current financial system, where the issue is. I give a very deep down illustration of the banking fractional reserve system, which all the banks in the world use, and how terrible it is in third world countries, even how worse also it is even in first world countries, right? I give it a little bit of explanation on this, and where money comes from, how money is created as well, and how money has moved from being a universal language that interprets and exchange value to become a universal language that interprets and exchange debts. So money has moved from being value to debt, right? How it has become more of a system of control than a system of connection, right? And how this system of control is being used and leveraged on by the government and the institutions of this world to constantly put people in a psychological, financially, mentally monopoly to control them consistently and keep them poor, right? Now, I did all that last week. So we're talking about now that, okay, how they're doing this. Why are they doing this? What are they doing right now? What is the current idea that we're going to do today, right? That's what we're diving in on. So let's start with the government, right? For example, in the early part of this year, sometime around July, the GD Act was released, right? You could type the GD Act, you could like type it on Google and read whatever it's about, but we're not like going to open all that now. And then we've got the Clarity Act, which is coming, which the Clarity Act should maybe in the next month or 2 or 3, but we'll get the Clarity Act, which is coming to be signed, right? Which Donald Trump has already like issued out and all that. Now, what is the government doing? What's the US government? Because the US is the world power, right? What are they doing with the GD Act, the Clarity Act? Now, it's simply what they're trying to do. It's more of a genius act of using stable coins, right, to help the dollar remain as the #1 currency of the world. And the reason they are doing this is because there are so many, what you're seeing going on, the trade wars, the tariff wars, is a lot of countries right now wants to find and achieve some level of independence. Billionaire Omar, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to correct that on my end. So it just have to be as it is right now. I don't really know how to change it to be normal, whatever, where the setting is, and all that. So it has to be like this for now to you. Maybe a way is figured out. Back to what I was saying. Now, that is what they're doing. Why? Because a lot of countries in the world are trying to fight against the dollar being the #1. They're trying to achieve monopoly and true sovereignty. Right? They're trying to feel a true sovereignty. And for example, I mentioned about on Twitter space, the BRICS, right? The nations which form the BRICS, the concept of BRICS, right? They're currently holding about 16% of the world's gold. And that's why we've seen gold has actually been going up and going up, because they are all buying gold excessively. And currently they hold 16% of the world's gold. And they are currently creating a digital currency that will be backed by gold so as to fizzle out the dollar. Right? And now the reason you see Donald Trump coming and say he wants to make the US the crypto capital is not because the dude loves crypto, right? The US are rushing crypto regulations right now so that it can help them to sustain power and control in the world. So there's a battle between the countries and government and nations to resist the dollar being the major system of control in the world and to achieve that independence. And they've seen that stablecoin could help them achieve that, right? But they still want the stablecoin to also be backed by gold. Now, the question you want to ask here is, if this is what the governments of the world are trying to do, knowing that what they are doing is what we call, knowing that the citizens of most of the nations of the world are indirectly slaves to the governments, because through debt, which is money, the system of control, knowing this, there is a lot of battles at the highest level, right, of governments and trying to do this. So, but the question that matters to you, which you want to ask yourself right now, based on what we are saying right now on this Zoom, is how can you use crypto to gain financial sovereignty and power in this world? What the BRICS nation is trying to do against the dollar. Your concern is not if they are going to achieve what their aim with the dollar against the US. That is none of your concern. Your concern is, what are these governments doing? Why are they trying to fight each other at this level? Why are they being strategic about this? And how can you use the same thing they are using, the same method they want to use to gain financial sovereignty for themselves as a nation against the US, against the dollar, right? How can you use that same crypto to gain your own financial sovereignty and power in this world? That is the question you are supposed to be asking. That is the question you are supposed to be asking. Then let's look at institutions, for example. Let's look at a little bit of institutions, because when we talk about governments, we start talking about institutions. right? I want to start talking about institutions currently. There are most of the major institutions right now are forming treasuries. They are forming crypto treasuries, and they are adding these cryptos to their balance sheets. So many institutions are doing this right now, right? And why? Because one of the things they've also discovered is that crypto enables a new set of finance that helps you to earn yields on your assets for anyone, anywhere in the world, while the assets are still going up in value. Crypto offers the ideal opportunity of what real estate, commercial real estate is to be, or the wealth of real estate, right? Crypto is it's giving that same opportunity, right? Because what is the wealth of real estate, right? Because most of the major issues and bust balls that caused the 2008-2009 crash years ago, which led to the release of the Bitcoin white paper by Satoshi Nakamoto in 2009, right? It all started with the issue that come up with the what we call the pyramid scheme between in the real estate industry, being led by the banking debt system. Right now, these institutions are saying that, okay, I can buy, this is what we call DeFi, decentralized finance, right? I can buy Ethereum, I can buy Solana, I can buy Bitcoin, right? I could buy any of all this. And if I buy them, what am I doing? If I buy any of this, I can begin to what's the right word to use now? I can stake them. I can stake them just like a high yield savings account, and I'm gonna be earning yields on them, probably 3% per annum to 5% per annum, 10% per annum, whatever percentage per annum. Let's just say 10% per annum, and then whatever I'm earning, also the price is also going up in value. So let's assume that you bought a house. Over time, the price of the land, right? The land, the property, the house, everything is going up in value. And you also have people who are paying you rental income. It's like a double-edged profit. You're earning from both passive income and what you're earning from both what's it called? Active income. You're earning from passive income, you're earning from active income, what we could refer to as you're getting cash flows and cash gains at the same time. So this is so much ideal to them. So why a lot of people are only thinking of what coin can they buy, hoping to when is the crypto is going to, when is crypto going to top out? When is it going to get to the top? So I could just run out and sell up. Why does what a lot of people who are in the retail level, in the small level in crypto are trying to struggle to think of? This is not what institutions are thinking. They aren't even thinking of this. Remember what I started saying about crypto structuring like a forest market? I started talking about this from like 7-8 years ago. I started giving this prediction, and we're already at it. This year, last year, entering this year was the foundation of what I'm saying. By the time we enter 2026, the concept of Bitcoin entirely, we function like a normal stock market. So this thing of, oh, it's going to get to the top and then come, it's gone. That's the 4-year cycle analogy has actually ended since 2021. That's why you see a lot of people are being confused about this cycle, because the concept of every 4 years this is what's going to happen, that is up. It's ended since 2021. It doesn't matter any longer. Why? Because institutions are here right now, and majority of, let's say, Bitcoin is being accumulated by these guys. So whether you like it or not, they are still taking power even in the sector. These guys are not waiting around for it to go up alone. No. They are focused on making cash consistently on this, while they are sure that their money is safe there. This is the reason we saw Luna, for example, the Luna coin rose very well and later flopped, right? Because it was giving them up to about 18% yield per annum. That's why we've got like a leverage yield farming, liquidity and single staking. All these are opportunities that institutions are exploring within the crypto space. For example, if you've been following the WLFI, which we invested in the pre-sale and all that as well, which has done so well for us from when we invested and when I started talking about it. If you follow them, you ask yourself, why do you think that most of the in the treasury, WLFI treasury, most of the coins being bought, let's say the Bitcoin, why are they buying wrapped Bitcoin and not Bitcoin? Why is Trump and his guys, why are they buying wrapped Bitcoin and not Bitcoin? It's because with wrapped Bitcoin, they can use wrapped Bitcoin to earn. They can use wrapped Bitcoin to earn. Now, this brings you to the second question. The second question you should be asking yourself right now is, how can I strategically invest in crypto to generate cash flow while anticipating cash gains over the next 5 years? Over the next 5 years. How can I strategically invest in crypto to generate cash flow now while anticipating cash gains over the next 5 years? There's a PDF I'm writing currently. It's a book I'm writing, and it's gonna be free, right? It's gonna be free, but I'm not really done. I'm actually 80% done. It's gonna be very concise, maybe just about 5, 6, 7 to 10 pages. Maybe might just be 10 pages. It's gonna be like a little bit report of 10 pages. No, it shouldn't be more than 20 pages. But in that report, it talks about how the first world countries, the Europe, the US, the British, how these first world nations came to Africa and exploited Africans by Africans to grow their countries. In case you don't know, a lot of the wealth you see in the first world countries came as a result of the precious metals, the golds, the silvers, and all these that they are exploiting from Africa. And it was actually Africans that sold them to them. And then I'm going to talk about why in that PDF I talk about why the mindset of a typical African of old that made them to had so much low insight and made the first world countries to outsmart an African to be ahead of them. So that we are still seeing the same thing even in our time and age, that the greatest wish or desire of an African right now is to work for somebody who is in the first world country. It's crazy. But now, in that report, I also explain how crypto has formed an opportunity whereby there is what we call the digital gold. I talk about which coin is the digital gold, which coin is digital silver, which coin is the digital oil right now, which coin is the digital what we refer to as a cocoa, chocolate. The measure I refer which coins are these and why they are these, and I interpret which coin is going to represent the forex of the 2030s in the next 5 years. And what the government, I wrote all this in that report, so it's going to take me a little time to put it together. It's something that if you read, your mindset shift about crypto entirely will change. It will change entirely. And then you will know what first world countries, first world governments, what they are doing right now, why it is on these specific coins that there is only going to be ETFs on, and how they are positioning themselves to take advantage of it, and the role these coins will play in the governments in a couple of years' time, and what you should do accumulating them, how you should start accumulating them, and how you should prepare yourself for yourself and your kids on board. It's going to be free. The book is going to be free, but if you read it, especially those of you who are from third world nations, right? Whether you're in a third world nations from Asia, third world nation from Africa, whatever third world nation you are in, it's definitely going to help you. You will have sense. Some deliverance will just come off your head, because I bet you there's nobody in the entire world that's written something like that. Nobody in the entire world has written something like that. And I'm going to written specifically for those of you who are crypto natives, how it matters for those of you crypto natives, right? But back to what I'm saying. So you want to ask yourself that question: how can I strategically invest in crypto to generate cash flow while anticipating cash gains? Why? Because cash flow and passive income, right, is the playground of the ultra wealthy rich. That is their playground, right? That is their playground. For example, we've got Ripple, right? We've got the token called Ripple. Ripple, it's okay. What to expect and weekly updates. So let me take this off. So I really don't know how this thing became like a round figure and how I can make it to not be round. I don't know what I pressed or where I pressed what I pressed, but I know it definitely should be in one of these settings that I was definitely okay. I think I've gotten it. Okay. I think it's in the preset section. I just saw it. I'll have to send you the code. How do I use the mail and request for it? Use the mail and request for it, and I'll send you the code. Okay. They sent a code. It's going to expire in 2 minutes. 2 minutes, but I think if you log into it, you're going to have like access to it as if it's on your PC, you're logging in on your mobile, you have access to it to the StreamYard for the next 1 week or 2 weeks. It's automated like that, so you won't even need code for that. But I've sent it to you in your DM. So back to what I was saying, guys. Now you want to look at all these factors, right? Ripple is currently pushing. So let's look at Ripple, for example. Ripple is pushing for a neutral bridge, right? Ripple is pushing for a neutral bridge for global currencies. So, and the 43rd treasurer of the United States, the 43rd treasurer of the world power, the US, sits on the board of Ripple. And next year, the US is having the 250th anniversary. And she's responsible for that anniversary that is going to take place in 2026. And the new version of bonds is going to be announced in that anniversary by 2026 next year. And that bond will be the first of its kind, which will be like a crypto bond. So the transitional hits to go back to gold and where crypto comes in. What I'm giving right now is alpha already. What I'm sharing right now is alpha already. If you know how big this is, she's the one responsible for that anniversary. I'm not saying the crypto bond is going to be a Ripple crypto bond, right? But already they are pushing for a neutral bridge for global currencies between each nations. So as the Clarity Act and so gets accepted, right, and the US begins to build their strategic reserve of stable coins and whatever Bitcoin and so to back the dollar and help the dollar remain number one, a lot of countries are still doing what they're like the BRICS nation. And the only way that there can be some level of synergy to excuse some high level trade wars is there for there to be a neutral bridge for each country to get a meeting point, each central bank to get a meeting point. And Ripple is going to be one of the major facilitator for that into the next couple of years. So you ask yourself like that, what I just said now is an alpha already. It's an alpha to know what is going on. Because if you know what you're going, when we talk about smart money, we said follow smart money, follow what they are doing. What is smart money? The government is smart money. What is smart money? Institutions is smart money. What I'm literally telling you right now is exposing your eyes to see the bigger picture of what the smart money is doing, so you can know what you should be doing for yourself as well. So yes, there are millions of coins right now, which a lot of them is going to be worthless. But which of them will not be worthless? Very simple. Which coins are having ETFs right now? Number one, Which coins are having ETFs right now? Which coins are you having major government authorities backing? They are not doing it to help you. Remember that. They are doing it to keep you under control consistently. But you can buy your freedom. Remember what I said as the first point I gave. Use the surrender tactic, this law 22 of the 72 laws of power, and transform weakness into power. Right? This gives you some level of understanding and insight and help. So I asked two questions, which is going to be like where we may want to what's the word to use now? End today. How can you use crypto to gain financial sovereignty and power in this world? How can you use crypto to gain financial sovereignty and power in this world? Right? That's number one question. Number two, how can I strategically invest in crypto to generate cash flow while anticipating cash gains? These two questions, I'm going to answer it in depth on our discussion on Tuesday. Our discussion on Tuesday on our X space, I'm going to go in depth into answering this in about 4 to 5 steps, right? 4 to 5 steps that you are going to take on how you can achieve this, right? How you can build your own strategic reserve, just like institutions are doing, the government are doing, and what you should build them on. Because obviously, we know obviously, you buying Bitcoin now is late, right? Buying Bitcoin now is late. So people may not be able to even achieve Ethereum right now because at least look at how the Ethereum price is. Some can, right? But the question is, what should you be buying right now? Which should you be focusing on? Which are they focusing on? Which are they trying to make people not to know, right? What they want to make people not to know, but those ones will become the Bitcoin of the next 5-10 years, the Ethereum of the next 5-10 years. And how you want to. I'm not referring to shitcoins now. Shitcoins are there. You can be gambling on it when you want to gamble on it. But if you want to prepare your future, plan your future, and plan your global independence, most of you, I'm going to share going. I think this foundation is very important because it will help me to bring a lot of us to the point whereby when I start talking about the divide between the first world and the third world, the global revolt we are seeing right now, and how you can have an edge that these people don't have. Those of you who are contemplating, should I relocate, should I not relocate, and this, I'll tell what is going to happen. And in the world, because this is the future series, right? We're going to be talking about what is definitely going to happen in what are the shifts that is taking place already. How you can position yourself and free yourself and your family, free yourself and your children, so you can win. Because see, anybody who is fighting against the government will constantly fail, because there's an order of power, what we call power dynamics in this world. And in power dynamics, light and darkness is one. At a higher level of power dynamics, they are not different, they are one. And you need a certain level of wisdom to know how to operate in this world, so as to navigate both waters, to constantly be on the winning side of things. Because there are people who are going to have money and they're going to be frustrated. They have money, but they are frustrated. And there are some people who will know how to have money and enjoy the money, how to grow their wealth strategically, step by step. That in 1 year time, people who feel that you don't have anything now will be surprised how much you are going to have, how much progress you would have made, how much you would have achieved. You should not be thinking about being a local champion. These days are past. The internet has made the world a global village. If there's anything you should be thinking, it's how to be a global champion and find your seat on the cadres and the corridors of power in this world, because that is the only way you can actually live life and enjoy life. That is the only way you can actually live life and enjoy life, right? Think of that freedom, right? So we're going to go into that. What are they doing? How can you build your own strategic reserve? Achieve your financial sovereignty. What should you be buying into? What you should be looking at, right? How you can strategically invest in them, and how you can scale and how you can grow. We'll go into all this deep dive on Tuesday, which is just going to be an hour session, right? So make sure you are there. And I don't know if you've posted about it, the X space already, Debbie. So if you posted about the X space, share the X space link to all the groups now. Deb, if you're on this call, share it to all the WhatsApp groups, the Telegram groups. Just share the X space link so people can reshare and set a reminder ahead of Tuesday. And so you can be on it on Tuesday, right? So I'm going to go into that in very much details on Tuesday. And we're going to be going this step by step. We'll be touching a lot of sectors that has to do with your life and bringing it down even to the lowest man possible, if there's a word like that, or the layman category, and how you can navigate it from your point in life to build moving forward as well. And also there was a report about Twitter. Twitter said something about it's definitely going to be, I think it's 7 p.m. or so. I think it's 7 p.m. on Tuesdays, right? 7 p.m. GMT +1 on Tuesdays. So it should be there. There's a new notice on Twitter that says that if you make a post and you're putting a link to the post as well, you may be banned or something like that. So because of that, we'll have to switch our giveaways, right? The giveaways we'll do every Monday will be switched away. I will have to think of something else, but we're still going to continue to give away. But I have to think of something else, right? So the winners for this current giveaway, they've been picked already, but I think I'm going to announce them tomorrow. And I'm think of something else on how we can continue doing the giveaway moving forward. So there's definitely going to be, the giveaway is going to continue, but it's not going to be like the same method as well as we've done the past 2 weeks. So we don't want to be, so our Twitter accounts and the X accounts will not be banned or anything like this. Bye for now, everyone. I wish us an amazing weekend. I wish us amazing, and I hope this gives some level of deeper insight and clarity as regards the current system, financial systems of the world, and what they are doing with stable coins and crypto, and how you can also do what they are doing for your own personal self and build your future and your tomorrow. You can always share the links wherever you're connected from: Kick, X, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. You can always share the links to your friends, families as well, for them to rewatch the session and learn from the session. Bye for now, everyone, and have a blessed and amazing